everybody blames like one faction of society on poverty. If you just fix the schools, it would fix it. If you just fix the family, if you just found people jobs. And so we thought, well, why don't we approach things the way people think of them already, and then break off that piece and write a story on it.
The poverty puzzle started with 6 different topics. We looked at community, jobs, we looked at faith, education, and how all of those play a role in poverty, in addressing poverty.
Sadly, in our city, there was no movement at all. So there's a little movement now. I wouldn't say that like anything's been solved or that I'm satisfied.
Everybody knows what needs to take place. Everybody knows, that we need to be moving on this. But I think we as a community are still moving kind of slowly in certain areas. Thanks to, I guess, the article with the poverty puzzle, people are able to see now, oh, I've been talking about these things, but here are the hardcore numbers. Here's what's really happening.
The problem is people like me, we write these reports that have a lot of wonky terms and a lot of data tables. What I really liked about the Times piece was it took the data and gave it a context through people and through life stories.
Because as it becomes the best town ever for other people, it becomes not a very hospitable town for them. And that is this big question of like, how do cities develop and how do the decisions we make affect one another? And should we care about that?
I know for us at United Way, it's just caused us to think again about our solutions and our strategies in the community. We brought Joan in to talk to our whole team. The whole team read all the articles and then we had a dialogue about it. Getting our board, our volunteers, our staff in community to listen and hear about what we're doing that works and what we're doing that isn't. And then having the courage to do something differently.
This story has received more unsolicited input from readers and members of the community than anything else that we've done.
This was definitely a different level of engagement, but we found that the engagement was really positive, actually. We found that, I thought that we would see some people saying, oh no, here we go, another one of these stories, but people really, I think, were amazed by it.
It remains to be seen what the long-term impact of that will be, but I'm excited that the conversation has been elevated. The conversation's more prominent now than it was before. The Chattanooga Times Free Press organized a luncheon about a month ago and brought a bunch of us together who were featured in those stories, and that was just such an incredible time for me because I didn't know some of these people.
We made a connection that day at the paper with the Chalmers Center, engaging churches in economic development and economic security. We're coming together, all of us, to do this. I think that's pretty powerful that came out of that one conversation.
There was a group that addressed the city council a couple weeks ago to talk about, why is the city painting the picture of Chattanooga, this rosy picture of Chattanooga when, there is this growing poverty. They really did quote a lot of the facts from the series.
I just want the situation to change. And I think that individual people make that happen more than what will happen if the school budget was just simply increased or something, Not to say that isn't needed, but I think that when you have change on an individual level in the way you see the world, or when true education hits its mark and people are really educated and informed as a democratic society, I think that we move closer to what we see ourselves as Americans,